Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are we getting on? Welcome back to another news video for Fallout 76, and we have a few more details about Wastelanders today. Firstly, the two new events coming with the update, and secondly, unfortunately, a delay to the launch date. So, let's jump in, take a look, shall we? So, first and foremost, the big information I'm sure everybody's most keen to hear about. Yes, Wastelanders has been delayed again. It's only by a week, which is better than it might have been, and obviously, as you can probably imagine, it's in light of the current situation with the coronavirus and everything. But let's take a look at what Bethesda have to say before we dig too much into it, read too much into it, all that stuff. So, friends, like others around the world, we are dealing with the critical situation that's currently affecting many of us and our communities. For the safety of everyone, we have transitioned to remote work and are limiting our in-person interactions. This has obviously changed the way we work, but rest assured that critical services for all our live games are fully operating. However, this has affected our ability to do the final testing we need for Wastelanders. We must move the release date a week from 7th of April to the 14th, so it's being delayed by an extra week. So, we've done everything we can to minimize the delay and can't wait for everyone to play. A special thanks to all our private test server players for all your help. We know this is a stressful time. We can't thank you enough for all the support you've given each other and us. We are humbled to have such an incredible community that's stuck with us through ups and downs. It means the world to us, especially in times like this. Stay safe. Thanks again, Bethesda Game Studios. So, obviously, Wastelanders delayed by another week. Under the circumstances, I don't know if you guys have been looking at this a lot or not, but can't say I'm massively surprised to see that they have delayed this. As a few people have been discussing whether or not this is going to happen. I'm not massively surprised, as I say. From the sound of things, as we've covered briefly in streams and other conversations, Bethesda have been transitioning from their usual in-office style of working to working from home, and most people were initially able to do that quite quickly. But from the sound of it, they've now got everybody over onto distance working, which is good. It means they're able to stay in isolation or practice the social distancing and all that stuff, which is very, very important and very good. Unsurprisingly, the non-standard work approach and the transition has slowed things down, so for that reason they are delaying the launch of Wastelanders. I think all in all, having only delayed it a week, that's not bad going really, and I think most of us are quite happy to accept that, rather than rush it out without doing the last bit of testing they need to do, or jeopardising the health of their staff, frankly. They've decided to delay it. I think it's the right choice. A little unfortunate, of course, we're all twiddling our thumbs waiting, but it's the right thing to do, so not a major problem. I think realistically the update rather, is going to launch in a pretty good state. Bethesda are keen to get it in the best condition they can. They're certainly not lost as regards the situation they're currently in and the issues the game's had so far. So I'm sure we'll have the best update we can get. Perfect. I think that's probably an unrealistic expectation, but they're taking the time, they're doing their best to get it right, so that's all to the good, and it's all what we want to hear. So, delayed by a week, it's now coming out on Tuesday the 14th rather than Tuesday the 7th of April. Okay, so, the other big bit of news is more details on the two new upcoming events. Bethesda have said, by the way, that there will be more events added post the launch of Wastelanders, but these are the two that are going to be added on patch day, which is now, as I say, the 14th of April. So, as soon as I find my mouse, there it is. We'll go Fallout 76 Inside the Vault, gear up for Riding Shotgun and the Radiation Rumble. So, the two new Wastelanders events. Wastelanders will bring two new Frenzied events to Fallout 76 in Riding Shotgun and Radiation Rumble. Read on to learn a little more about each, and make sure you're prepared to take them both on come patch day. So, first and foremost, Riding Shotgun. This is one we've already seen a little bit about. Those of you who saw PAX East, the Bethesda Game Days panel about Wastelanders there, you'll have already seen a little bit of this, and maybe saw the video I did on it as well. Of course, that'll be linked somewhere around here as well, so if you want to check that one out, throw a little footage up as well. But if you consider yourself a hired gun, head to Big Ben Tunnel East. That'll be the Cranberry Bog end of the tunnel, to take on a gig ensuring a safe passage for a group of merchants on a treacherous trip through the mountains. Blue Ridge Caravan Company, so one of the new minor factions being added, initially had a lot of trouble getting their pack brahmin up the steep cliffs of the Savage Divide. I can see that, actually. Thinking about the cliffs that you have to come down from the Savage Divide into the Cranberry Bog, yeah, I can see why that would be a problem. and the alternative of going all the way around the top's not great for them either, really. So, since then, they've worked out that Big Ben Tunnel offers an easy route from the Cranberry Bog into the Ash Heap, or it would if it wasn't swarming with Blood Eagles. So the Blood Eagles, if you haven't seen already, are a brand new raider faction. They are basically filling the role the raiders used to fill. Obviously, we've got the main group that you can interact with and side with. They're going to be based at Crater, which is the former crashed space station. But the Blood Eagles are more traditional raiders. They are an NPC group who are always antagonists. So there we go. With their path blocked and their Brahmin growing restless, the merchants are reaching out to anyone who might be able to fend off any scoundrels waiting to ambush the caravan. During your journey, you'll need to defend the caravan's 2 Brahmin, who are loaded down with goods. If one or both of them make it through, you and your event mates will be rewarded with some loot, XP, and caps. If both of them die, well, that would be bad for business. Aside from protecting the Brahmin, you will also be tasked with looting supplies the caravan has lost during their previous attempts to travel through. So this is a secondary objective. Scattered throughout the tunnel, you will have to explore and try and find the lost packages and recover them and escort them along with the rest of the Brahmin through to the end of the tunnel. Coordinate with your event mates, defend the caravan, find their missing belongings, and you'll receive better rewards. So yeah, if you can get all the sub-objectives completed as well, get better rewards. The Blood Eagles have learned every nook and cranny of the tunnel, however, so keep your head on a swivel and avoid getting surrounded, which is actually quite a possibility in there. Getting surrounded would be bad, especially if you ventured out on your own in search of one of the side objectives. While it's possible that a hearty adventurer can complete this event alone, we recommend bringing a teammate or 2 to help clear out the riffraff along the way. So for those who have got fully kitted out characters, high level, got your build completed, got all your legendary gear and all that sorted out, you'll probably be able to go through this and run it on your own. Although, if it's going to pop up using the current event system and alert everybody, chances are you won't have to. But it's going to be doable. However, the next event, not so much. I mean, not impossible, but it's going to be much harder. So a few weeks ago, we shared a look at riding shotgun during a Wastelanders preview panel at Bethesda Game Days. If you haven't already given it a watch, check it out via the link here. Of course, you'll get a link to the blog post down in the description as well. To see some of the event in action, yes, of course. And I'll throw some footage up on the screen for you so you can take a little look at it as well. So, Radiation Rumble, a new one. This one we have yet to hear anything about other than the fact it exists. Until now, that is, of course. So, first and foremost, the location. Emmett Mountain Disposal Site. Not a location I'm particularly familiar with. You guys might be able to tell me a bit more about it. I'll have to go and check it out, perhaps in-game. But, obviously, it's going to get a sizable overhaul, so what you already know may be somewhat out of date come Wastelanders. But Emmett Mountain Disposal Site harbours plenty of precious ore that's ripe for the taking by anyone willing enough to brave its highly radioactive depths to do some mining. That's just what our group of scavengers have planned to do when they found themselves suddenly cornered by deadly glowing creatures. Still, the scavengers are dead set on snatching up as much ore as they can. They've brought a few turrets along for defense, but they'll need your firepower to make it out alive. Radiation levels in the disposal site can be intense, so don't forget to step into a hazmat suit. Hopefully power armor will do the job. Hopefully. Luckily, if you forget to bring your own, scavengers will kindly provide one for you. So worst case scenario, they'll provide you one. But I think ideally power armor if you can get the rad resistance high enough, because, I mean, we'd survive nuke zone, so it'll probably be fine. But, yeah, doing it in unarmored hazmat suits does not sound like a fun time to me. So, this is a fast-paced and dangerous public event that will require you to be in 2 places at once. To be successful, you need to balance defending the scavengers from an onslaught of treacherous enemies, while also finding opportunities to venture out and gather irradiated ore. The more you collect, the more handsomely you'll be rewarded with gear, supplies, or reputation, that's interesting, XP, caps, and even legendary items. Interesting that the previous event didn't mention legendary items. It did mention loot though, so we'll see. Keep in mind though that the scavengers can't pay you for your efforts if they all get taken out. Yep, that sounds pretty reasonable. They're going to have a hard time paying you if they're dead. This event is geared towards dwellers who are level 50 plus, and you may need to coordinate with your event mates to get the job done. We recommend bringing teammates so that you can maximise your rewards. So yeah, in case of both events, they're trying to have multiple objectives, more things to do, make them a bit more involved, a bit more interesting to engage with. So they said at Bethesda Game Days at PAX East, and this certainly is in keeping with that. Sounds good. Guess you're going to be putting the headset to use, if you, at least early on, to communicate with people and try and coordinate efforts a little bit, because if everybody runs off and does one objective away from the main one, then the scavengers or the Brahmin will get taken out, and conversely, if nobody goes and does the side objectives, you won't get as good a reward either. On the other hand, I'm pretty sure that after a little while, people will learn to coordinate. They'll read off what the other people are doing, and it won't matter too much. There's certainly some events already where people tend to sort of self-coordinate. So there's a certain amount of that in there already that will work, and I'd imagine these events will also develop that. And of course, there will be more events coming up over the course of the summer, I should imagine, but certainly post the launch of Wastelanders anyway. So, thanks for joining us for these 2 event previews. We can't wait to see what you think of them once they're live in-game. Till next time, we'll see you in Appalachia. So, yeah. Big news obviously being the delay to Wastelanders. Pushed it back by a week because of coronavirus and everything. I don't think that's really a big surprise, and it's definitely the right choice. It's a sensible decision, it looks after the staff, and means they're not rushing it out either. So, good call, right decision. Not ideal. I mean, I know everybody's stuck at home and twiddling their thumbs and waiting for it, and even more keen to get this update because of that. But I'm sure we'd all rather have it done right, and I'm sure we'd all rather Bethesda looked after their staff properly as well. So, priority 1 there. And yeah, slightly sad news, but the right news. And of course, the 2 new events, both looking very, very cool. I'm looking forward to getting stuck into these. To be honest, the rewards from Radiation Rumble sound a bit more interesting to me. Certainly the reputation, I'm interested to see how that's going to work, which factions maybe you'll get that with. Possibly these scavengers are another of the secondary minor factions. We'll see. In which case you may get reputation with them directly from that. So that's an interesting thing to see. And of course, legendary items. Who doesn't like legendary items? So, Riding Shotgun hasn't said very much about whether or not you get legendary gear from that, or reputation. So, not quite sure how that's going to work. I guess, well, we'll see in a couple of weeks. But yeah, it also does look like the more character and story driven of the 2 events to me. So that's kind of fun and interesting in that regard. I suppose it'll depend on what you want to achieve at the time as to which one you prefer, and of course which one happens to be rolling, because since the end of last year when they updated the event system, there's only 1 major event running at a time, so they won't be simultaneous, so there is that. But there we go. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this, so do let me know down in the comments about your thoughts on the updates and the delay and so on and so forth. Let everybody know what you're doing to pass the time as well if you're stuck at home, because I'm sure we'd all appreciate a few tips on getting through this together. For now, I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed the video, if you found it useful and informative. If you did, please do hit those subs and likes for me. It's always very, very much appreciated. Social media links down in the description as well if you want to catch up with even everything I'm doing on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook. And if you'd really like to support the channel a bit more directly, then you can consider becoming a channel member as well via the blue join button. The support is humongously appreciated. So thank you very much to everybody who's done that already. And as always, keep an eye out for the live streams as well. We're having a lot of fun playing Fallout, and we're playing a little bit of Mass Effect as well on the side at the minute, going old school there, which is great fun, fantastic game. So I do hope you'll join us for that one. I should pass a little bit of time, if nothing else. For now, thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you all very, very soon.